It's a big deal whenever a Jamaican musician can make it in the mainstream overseas, considering the size of our island and the sacrifice needed to get that far. Quite a few have been doing it even before we were independent, but today I want to look on artists in the modern era from 1990 onwards, when dancehall was joining reggae as being a popular brand of music overseas. I'm Mark from OriJinal Jamaican, and today's list features the top Jamaican crossover artists since 1990. For this list, we consider not just chart and award success, but quality of songs, consistency, trend setting, among other things. Honorable mentions must go to Ziggy and Stephen Marley with their long list of accomplishments, with the latter in producing as well. Diana King, Patra, and Mad Cobra, who scored huge with Flex in the 1990s. To be clear, this is a list featuring Jamaican-born musicians who successfully crossed over, which unfortunately rules out Maxi Priest, who was born and raised in London. But I'm a huge fan of his though. Now, onto the list. Number 10, Lady Saw. While Marianne was quickly ascending to Queen of Dancehall status with a risque yet savvy style never before seen from a local female artist, it would take her quite a bit of time before the international crowd caught on to her array of talent. Stardom overseas, which the likes of Sister Nancy and Patra found with their work almost immediately, took a while for Saw to attain despite releasing several hits that only served to enhance her reputation amongst her ardent hardcore following like Sycamore Tree, Healing, and several others. That would change once the late 90s rolled around. After her album Passion, which featured those aforementioned songs, reached the top 10 of Billboard's reggae chart, she scored her first major success on the coveted Hot 100 chart thanks to her feature on Smile by Vitamin C. And if you're going, who's Vitamin C? Just think back to your graduation back in the day when As We Go On, We Remember would serve as your theme, and it should click right away. The good-natured Smile peaked in the top 20 of the Hot 100, becoming certified gold, and showed another side to her musical capabilities. But better was yet to come. By 2002, acclaimed rock band No Doubt were experimenting more and more with reggae musings, and as you'll see again later, summoned some of Jamaica's heavy hitters to add authenticity to this new sound. Saw was one of them, teaming with lead singer Gwen Stefani on the smash hit Underneath It All, which peaked at number 3 on the Hot 100. Produced by heavyweights Sly and Robbie, the song won Grammy for Best Pop Performance by a duo or group with vocal in 2004, marking the peak of Lady Saw's iconic career. She'd later mark her place in the Hot 100 with songs more familiar to her raunchy style like I've Got Your Man, but the fact her most successful work came from more uplifting romantic songs proved just how much she could step outside her comfort zone and succeed. Number 9, Supercat. The Wild Apache is truly one of dancehall's greatest warriors and became both popular and notorious for a badman persona that showed itself numerous times both on the mic and away from it. Emerging out of Cockburn pen, Supercat made his name with songs such as Sibuk Stay Under Pressure and Cry for the Youths, becoming both a foundational dancehall star as well as one of its most reputable figures. He could both sound like the toughest man around while also making conscious songs for all demographics, and soon enough, record labels in the US were ready to help Cat purr in the mainstream overseas. He secured a deal with Columbia Records in 1992 and immediately established himself with a string of hits including Dem No Worry We alongside the late great Heavy D, Girls Town, and Dolly My Baby featuring Puff Daddy, Mary J. Blige, and a then upcoming rapper who later became hip-hop's GOAT, the Notorious B.I.G. Though those songs were his most popular cult classics, his best charting singles were actually his collaboration with Criss Cross in 1993, Alright, which peaked at number 19 on the Hot 100, and his joint effort Fly with rock band Sugar Ray topped 3 different Billboard charts as well as Canada's singles chart. From there, he'd go on to team up with Pharrell and the Neptunes in the early 2000s, as well as with Jadakiss and 112, with whom he'd earned further Billboard success with. The Don Dada fathered international dancehall success and created pathways so many after him have enjoyed to this day. Number 8, Elephant Man. If there's any artist I think has never gotten the full due he's deserved for being a crossover success, it's the Energy God. Mr. Shankar Manuncle himself has long been lauded for his all-age friendly dance songs, his outlandish eye-catching videos, and his over-the-top stage antics that you simply couldn't take your eyes off. Who can ever forget those superhero bright Jamaica themed suits he'd wear on stage? But Elephant Man was more than just a really gifted entertainer. He was a draw, and a draw some of music's biggest names overseas couldn't help but collaborate or perform. Janet Jackson All Night, Chris Brown Feel the Steam, and performances alongside the likes of Rihanna and Usher proved just how much of a major commodity Ellie was in his prime. The who's who of top-class musicians weren't afraid to associate their names with the former Scare Them crew member, and his drawing power also reflected to varying degrees on the charts. His biggest hits on those charts were his collaboration with Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, the Ying Yang Twins, and Busta Rhymes on the Get Low remix, which peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Collaborations with Cat DeLuna and Wine Up and Juke Gal, which featured Kip Rich, were also huge Billboard successes, while Pond River's first major overseas hit, Signal the Plane, and Willie Bones found their way onto Billboard charts as well. During his peak, Elephant Man topped the charts in Canada, became a huge sensation in Europe, and was a regular feature on BET and other major American networks. He was all over the place. He was a magnet for artists abroad, either simply looking to trend or build on their long-established hype, just adding credence to Elephant Man's motto, that image is everything. Number 7, Inner Circle. Inner Circle's path towards modern-day crossover success was a long, arduous, and at times tragic one. The band was formed way back in 1968 by brothers Roger and Ian Lewis alongside their young Stephen Cat Core and Michael Cooper. They found early success together but had to withstand an overhaul when Core, Cooper, and Bunny Ruggs, who also sang for the group at the time, all left to form Third World. This led to the recruitment of young reggae star Jacob Killamiller to become their new lead vocalist, and the band flourished with songs such as Tenement Yard and Stop Breaking My Heart, among others. However, the band's future was severely compromised when Miller, at just 27 years old, was killed in a car crash, becoming a part of the tragic 27th. Years of lineup changes followed before the group could steadily recapture their place within the mainstream landscape. But by the turn of the 90s, Inner Circle were finally rewarded after all the hardships they endured thanks to a reissue of their hit song, Bad Boys. The song was initially released on the 1987 album One Way, but by 1990 it became the theme for the episodic police show Cops. And after topping multiple charts in Europe in 1991, the song found success in the United States, major success, reaching number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1993. The momentum was further boosted by the release of Sweat, a song that peaked at number 16 on the Hot 100, or reaching 3rd in the UK and topping singles charts in Germany, Portugal, Holland, and New Zealand, among other countries. A reggae Grammy for their Bad Boys album, as well as a feature on the original Bad Boys movie soundtrack followed, garnering a long-standing following for the band that's still going strong today, which surely has Miller smiling these days, wherever he is. Number 6, Bounty Killer. Think about the 5-star general's career retrospectively, and you get the sense that if his US visa was never revoked, his all-time great status would have been buffered even more if he got the chances to perform there, as well as more opportunities to record with some of their biggest stars. But what Bounty did manage to achieve there, while he was able to go there, is still highly creditable. He advanced dancehall to new heights in the mainstream overseas, building on the red-hot momentum he was experiencing in the early 90s. His first feature on the Hot 100 was actually on the special remix of Don Penn's You Don't Love Me, No 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 in 1994, alongside Ken Booth and Dennis Brown. In 1997, his collaboration with the Fugees, Hip Hopper, launched him further into the stratosphere with another Hot 100 feature, and the video for the song is still considered one of the best a dancehall artist has put forth. Further collaborations with Mobb Deep on Deadly Zone, Swiss Beats on Guilty, and the PSA remix alongside Jay-Z earned him more chart success, while other features alongside Busta Rhymes and Coco Brovaz aka Smith & Wesson are also still renowned to this day. But Bounty's most notable instance of chart success abroad came thanks to, no doubt, who we mentioned pushed Lady Sartor on Presidential Heights. In 2001, Bounty was the feature on No Doubt single Hey Baby, and he was an ideal fit on a very solid rock sound, though the video did garner a bit of controversy with that whole naked guy thing. Anyway, The song was a smash, reaching number 5 on the Hot 100, winning a Grammy for Best Pop Performance by a Duo or Group, and saw Bounty performing all over the States, including during Super Bowl 36 weekend. Though long removed from his peak years, Killer's performance on Versus showed just how revered he remains to this day by many of the biggest names of this generation. And it's thanks in part to these timeless crossover hits where his reputation remains solid. Number 5, Beenie Man. You just knew he had to be next, right? As has been proven time and again, you legit can't talk about Bounty without mentioning Beenie and vice versa, with the Doctor placing just ahead of his longtime rival and friend on this list. Like Bounty, Beenie Man was furthering along dancehall's progress as a popular mainstream genre overseas from the mid-90s onwards. His first Billboard hit was Wickedest Slam, which did alright on Billboard's R&B and rap charts. Then he scored Double Delight thanks to Dancehall Queen, as the single itself alongside Chevelle Franklin made its way onto the Billboard Hot 100 and was well received in Europe, while the movie for which the song was the theme for also got favorable reviews. Sim Simma, Who Got the Keys to My Bimmer, was next to getting chart success, reaching top 40 in the US and top 10 in the UK, while Girls Dem Sugar alongside Maya earned similar plaudits in both countries, with the video on heavy rotation on BET and MTV at the time. His album, Art and Life, won him a Grammy Award in 2001, which coincided with the single alongside Janet Jackson, scoring him a top 30 hit in the United States and another top 10 in the UK. The hits kept on coming overseas throughout the 2000s, with Dude in particular earning him success while also introducing the world to Miss Thing and John Hype. Wonder what happened to them. Songs like Street Life and King of the Dancehall were particularly popular in the UK as well, reflecting on the charts. Add less heralded singles to the mix like I'm Serious alongside a young T.I. and Girls with Akon, Beenie established himself as must-see abroad for several years. Again, going back to Versus, his standing is still very high amongst music's heavyweights, and even Billboard themselves said that he won the matchup with Bounty. I disagreed there, but who really cares? The real winners there were everyone who got to watch that masterpiece. Number 4, Shabba Ranks. Few cleaned house on the international scene better than big, dirty, stinking Shabba, shooting to superstardom almost instantly in the late 80s. After signing with Epic Records in 1989, Emperor Grung was determined to be great, oozing authority through his image and winning ladies' hearts with his no-nonsense sexually charged content. He found consistent success on the US and UK singles charts thanks to his slew of anthems for his female fans. Trailer Load, House Call alongside Maxi Priest, which was a big song, and Slow and Sexy alongside New Edition's Johnny Gill among his standouts. But two songs in particular give Shabba big time credence to his mass audience outside of Jamaica. Mr. Loverman, of course, is one of them, standing as Shabba's biggest hit in the UK to date, third on the singles charts, while also reaching the top 40 of the Billboard Hot 100. It's also etched in pop culture folklore, being featured in movies and, most famously, on In Living Color and that classic spoof of the song by Marlon Wayans, Mr. Uglyman. Then there's Dembow, produced by the late great Bobby Digital, which is credited as the song that spawned the birth of reggaeton music, officially certifying Shabba as a true trendsetter. Back-to-back Grammy Awards in 1992 and 93 for his albums As Raw As Ever and Extra Naked consolidated his elite status, with the former album also topping the Billboard R&B charts. Unfortunately, his comments during an infamous interview on UK's Channel 4, where he spoke on Buju Banton's controversial song Boom Bye Bye and the issue of homosexuality, caused a huge uproar, costing him tours and talk show appearances. While his career continued to flourish as songs like Family Affair, What You Gonna Do alongside Queen Latifah and others did well, he never quite achieved the heights of popularity he once did, and by the late 90s, he kind of faded out of the international spotlight despite still doing some good work, especially on the reggae side of it. Still, few resumes can match or come close to what Shabba has done at his very best. And, just like in his heyday, the man is still very much in demand. He's always been a top live performer, has been cited as an inspiration by countless musicians, and even had a song named after him as a tribute by A$AP Ferg, one of the greatest to ever do it, bar none. Number 3, Damian Marley. Quite a number of fans, especially those of One Vybz Kartel, will disagree with me on this one, but for my money, Damian Marley is the greatest Jamaican artist of the 21st century. You heard me. The classic albums and countless timeless songs, the deep-lying context and conceptual genius often permeating his music and videos, as well as his ability to fuse with any genre and stand out in the best way possible, only buffer that argument. It took a while before the mainstream forces well and truly aligned for Junior Gong, but the quality was long there, and once the masses got wind of this, he would set his sails for greatness. After his debut album, Mr. Marley didn't make much headway. Gongzilla hoped to strike gold with his follow-up effort, Halfway Tree. Unfortunately and understandably, tragic circumstances overshadowed its release as it came out on the day of the 9/11 bombings. However, as time passed, the album garnered much momentum thanks to its excellent merging of reggae, hip-hop and R&B sounds, with epics such as It Was Written, Still Searching, Where Is the Love featuring Eve, and more. The album won Marley the Reggae Grammy in 2002, and even now the Halfway Tree album has aged incredibly well. Then came Marley's third and most successful album to date, Welcome to Jamrock, which really catapulted his worth in the crossover market and showed just how much of an old head the youngest veteran was. The gold certified compilation featured the ever popular titular track, which just missed out on the top 50 of the Billboard Hot 100, while Road to Zion, featuring hip-hop legend Nas, also scored big on the Billboard charts. Other singles such as Beautiful alongside Bobby Brown and All Night with his brother Stephen Marley did respectively on the UK singles charts. Both Welcome to Jamrock, the album, and its title track won a Grammy Award in 2006, really and truly solidifying Marley as a living young legend. In 2010, he and Nas collaborated yet again with their album Distant Relatives, topping multiple Billboard charts, peaking at number 5 on the Billboard 200 albums chart, and featuring gems such as We Enter, Patience, Nah Mean, and Friends. This was as close to perfection as a fusing of Jamaican music and hip-hop will ever get, capped off by a popular joint tour between the two, and calls to this day for the pair to do a follow-up album, especially from me. His 2012 dubstep collaboration with Skrillex, Make It Bun Them, was later certified platinum in the US, while Bam, his 2017 collaboration with the iconic Jay-Z, also reached the top 50 of the Billboard Hot 100. Of course, because of his last name, you will have detractors who will say, well, you've only got those accolades because your last name is Marley, but make no mistake, Damian fully earned his success by establishing a unique sound and persona which still makes him a crowd favorite to this day and would make his late great father very proud. Number 2, Sean Paul. Dirty! For a man that has such a massively impressive resume, you'd think Sean Paul would be one of Jamaica's most lauded musicians ever. Yet his status is as much polarizing as it is legendary, with many fans and even some fellow musicians branding his brand of dancehall as unauthentic. Yes, Sean Paul's music may not be every Jamaican's cup of tea. I'll readily admit I'd listen to a Junior Gong or Shabba song before I'd play Sean Paul, but what cannot be denied is that his music has not only made him a major music commodity, but a very credible brand industry players worldwide still see as valuable. And there are 2 decades worth of evidence to drive home that legitimacy. His first forays on the Billboard charts were actually in the year 2000, when he became truly popular locally with hits such as Deport Them and Hot Gal Today alongside Mr. Vegas, making the R&B charts. Though the album those songs featured on Stage 1 didn't see him make a strong start out the blocks, Dirty Rock helped him find his stride and then some. Give Me the Light, I Am Still in Love with You, and Like Glue were high on the Hot 100 and UK singles charts. Get Busy topped the Hot 100 for 3 weeks and was certified platinum in the USA. And Baby Boy, his smash collaboration with then new solo sensation Beyonce, topped the Hot 100 for 9 consecutive weeks. Dirty Rock won Sean a Grammy, went 2 times platinum, and made Sean Paul beloved back home at the time. His next album, The Trinity, went 2 times platinum again, featured a gold-selling collab with Keisha Cole, a top 10 song with Rihanna, a platinum-selling Herb anthem in We Be Burning, and another Hot 100 chart topper in Temperature, which went 3 times platinum. He actually was the last Jamaican to top the Hot 100 until Omi did so for multiple weeks with his Cheerleader remix in 2015. After that stretch was when his music took on a much more international vibe and the perception from some locals started to sour and shine. But he would simply continue to hit back at his critics with success. Too many hits to list with the likes of Enrique Iglesias, Dua Lipa, Alexis Jordan, Major Lazer, Clean Bandit and Anne-Marie and Rockabye Baby, which went 3 times platinum. The list goes on and on. His honors and plaudits for his work are richly deserved, and while not everyone may find his music these days has been for them, you surely have to respect the hustle and the CV, which very few can know. Number 1, Shaggy. Only one man in this era could be argued above an artist and resume of that caliber, and that man is none other than Mr. Lover Lover himself. When you break down each of the 3 decades he's been in the industry, you'll understand why he tops this list. The former US Marine who served during the Gulf War has been one of the biggest generals in music ever since his smooth yet rough-edged voice made its impressive mainstream debut with Oh Carolina in 1993. The remake of the Folks Brothers hit in the 1960s shot him straight to the top of the UK singles charts and earned him his first ever Billboard Hot 100 appearance. During the 90s, he set out to be more of a heartthrob / sex symbol with his music, and after a decent debut album with Pure Pleasure that same year, his popularity went through the roof in 1995 with his sophomore effort Boombastic. His first single of the Grammy-winning album, In the Summertime, is still one of the biggest summer songs ever, peaking at number 3 on the Hot 100 chart. However, it was the second single from the album and its title song, Boombastic, that really did the trick. The scintillating single topped the charts in the UK and Oceania, was a huge hit in the US and Europe, was certified platinum, and has been used in countless movies ever since. Some solid collaborations with the likes of Janet Jackson and Toni Braxton followed, but all of what he had done up to that point were delectable appetizers that set up an irresistible main course with his 2000 album, Hot Shot. By the turn of the millennium, Shaggy knew that being just a ladies' man alone wouldn't work, and his music had a more mature, evolving feel about it. It Wasn't Me was a cult classic that topped the United States, European, and Oceanic charts for multiple weeks, and Angel became a fellow multi-platinum hit that topped the charts in at least 7 countries. Hot Shot was the second highest selling album in the United States in 2001, a diamond certified album, yes, diamond, yet didn't garner a single Grammy nomination. Something Shaggy told me in an interview I did for a magazine in 2012 was something he was still peeved about. Another platinum album, Lucky Day, followed, featuring another platinum smash in Hey Sexy Lady with Brian and Tony Gold, as well as Strength of a Woman. And he continued to be a huge success, even making a lot of smashes locally to stay connected with his core following in Jamaica. Once the 2010s hit, Shaggy knew he had to reinvent himself quite a bit to stay relevant, and duly did so by keeping things simple and trusting in his local roots, as evidenced by his Summer in Kingston album and its lead single, Sugarcane. But that reinvention came full circle by 2018 when he teamed up with rock legend Sting for a rock and reggae fused album, 44876, an album that peaked in the top 10 in several European countries, including the UK, while also enjoying decent success stateside. At last year's Grammy Awards, Shaggy finally got that elusive second Grammy for the album and continues to be ever present on the talk show circuit in the US, as well as TV shows and more. Shaggy is not only as talented as they come, but he is a very smart businessman, and considering how well he's done to stay at the top of his game for this long, you wouldn't bet against him continuing to do so going forward. And that's our list. What did you think? Did you agree with our number 1? Did you think we did the right order here? Who do you think was the biggest snub from this list? Please let us know in the comments below. Like and share this video. Subscribe to OriJinal Jamaican, the OriJinal Jamaican YouTube channel. Follow us on @OriJinalJA on Instagram, and also check out our main page at 876-411-JA on Instagram and Facebook, as well as 876-411 Digital on Instagram to see some of our branding and what we do other than these top 10 videos and stuff. I'm Mark from OriJinal Jamaican, and I'll see you soon.